What's up, everybody? As promised, Makensy Manbeck. Here she is from Friendswood, from Big Brother. You know her from Big Brother. All right, we got so much to talk about.
So much.
So let's break it down quickly.
Okay.
Okay, let's take it back.
Let's do it.
Before you were MJ, you were like baby MJ at Friendswood High School. Mm-hmm. But you played club volleyball, I'm sure.
I did.
How much time went into that? Like you growing up.
Oh my God.
I could see your parents like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a superstar. She's a super freak athlete.
Yeah.
How did you get started in the volleyball world? Tell me on your journey.
Okay. When I got back to Texas, I really started heavily into basketball and volleyball. Which, funny enough, get this, I started I think when I was around 13, so 7th grade. I was on B team. Like I was really, really good at basketball. I was actually better at basketball, you would say.
Yeah.
Because I was on A teams. I was killing it in AAU. Our teams were going undefeated. And volleyball just wasn't my thing yet, I guess. And I was on the lowest teams, B team. Everybody thought it was awful. And I was like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. And I just kind of kept pursuing it, I guess, because, you know, I want to be the best at everything I do. When I tried out my freshman year, I wasn't on B team anymore. I was the only freshman who made JV.
Sweet.
And then ever since then, it's just continually gotten better and better. But yeah, no, I really wasn't that great. And I had to quit basketball because I chose that I really, really enjoyed volleyball. And another thing why I chose it was because I didn't like being physical anymore. I didn't want people touching me. I enjoyed being able to hit people with a ball, but not physically.
But that makes perfect sense. But what is that? Where did you get that, like, dog from? Like, you want to win everything because you already kind of have that aura about you. Mm-hmm. You're like, we gonna win. We are here. What is it?
Well, I come from a man named Makensy Manbeck,
yes.
And he is everything gritty about me and just go-getter. Not that my mom's not. My mom is an amazing woman. She does a lot. She accomplishes a lot. She's very successful. However, my dad is that cocky, arrogant he was on the field. So he was a baseball player. He played for like the Phillies for a little bit.
Yeah.
And he instilled in me as an athlete, just whatever you want, go and get it. The only person stopping you is yourself. So if you want to be the best, go do it. And you better work your ass off to do it.
Like playing at a place like Friendswood, you got to be good because y'all went to the state semis that year, kind of had a tremendous season. You were all state. What was that senior year like? Was it fun? Was it stressful? Was it like, hey, I'm ready to move on? What?
It was both because I think the year prior we had gotten 5th place. So we didn't make it to the semifinals. And I absolutely loved my junior year of volleyball. It was amazing, incredible, but I knew we could do better. And then my senior year was so fun because it's my senior year. It's my final year of school volleyball. It's my final year to rep something big before I went into college. And I knew that I'd be the baby again when I went to college. So I was ready to make it the best year yet. And then I actually ended up tearing my meniscus. And I had a golf ball size cyst underneath my kneecap. And I was out for a little under half the season before we got into playoffs. And it was really scary because, one, I just committed. And so I didn't know if they were going to decommit me if I couldn't continue on. I didn't know how fast I would recover to be able to help us get into the playoffs. Because, I mean, if we didn't keep the record we were, there's bye-bye playoffs, bye-bye every, like, senior year, you know. And so it was really stressful my senior year, I would say, because not only was I dealing with the mentality of, you know, senior year and changing my whole lifestyle again about going to college, but I had this knee blowout and that was going to completely change my career. And it did. That season in itself was a lot of pressure. Super, super fun to be able to overcome those things and work with my team in a weird way that I never had before and to almost play to my other strengths because I couldn't jump as much. I couldn't run certain things. I wasn't as fast as I normally was. So it was a cool learning experience. It was an adversity that I was glad that I went through to be able to allow me to see the game in a different way.
So that's what you learned.
And be appreciative of it.
You took it.
Yeah.
You took it on for your future.
I did.
I can't imagine you in high school. You had to admit a lot, bro. A lot. Like you're like, coach, put me in. This is bullshit. I need to be playing today.
Oh.
I could see.
There was a few I will say, our girls, there was a few times where we really spoke up against some things because we were just like, absolutely not.
No, I'm just saying walking the halls. I mean, I'm talking about walking the halls in Friendswood. Like, what is happening? I can just see this, like, movie camera, like this wind machine, like...
Right? I would say, I wish.
Yeah.
In high school, though, I think I got more of that arrogance, honestly, pretty recently.
Yeah, we'll call it confidence. Confidence.
Yeah, confidence within myself to, like, have that instead of in a sports way. Because I was very, on the court,
hardcore.
You were going to see it in my eyes.
Right.
Off the court, very humble. Very humble, like, oh my gosh, you know me? What? You don't know me. I'm not that good. Stop. Right. You know?
I get it.
I will say, I'm short for the position I play. So I'm 6 foot, right under. And that's short for a middle on D1 sports. Right. If I would have had 4 inches to me, because I was told this by multiple colleges, if I would have had 4 inches, I would have been playing in Nebraska, Penn State,
UT. Right. True.
I don't even doubt that, and I'm not saying that I could do that at 6 foot. I would not compete with any of them. So volleyball players that play there, don't come for me. I know I'm not there. That's why I didn't play for them. However, give me 4 inches, I would have ruled the world. I would have ruled the world.
You don't want to be 4 inches taller.
I will say, I'm very thankful that I'm not, because it's already hard enough to find jeans. But
I can hear you.
But
so then you commit to Houston Christian, which was Houston Baptist at the time.
Yes.
COVID comes.
Yes.
So here's what we tell a lot of kids also. College sports is a job, dude. It's a job, and it's not super sexy and fun.
No.
It's like you're grinding and up all the time, and your calendar is not your life. It's not your calendar. You're working with the colleges and the coaches and stuff.
Exactly.
So your transition from Houston Christian, did you ever get there? COVID happens, then you're boom at A&M.
Yeah.
What happened?
So basically, COVID hit the end of my senior year. So, graduation was all thrown off. I was given my workout plan. We couldn't work out at HCU. I was given it, and I had to work out at home. So that was a little different, you know. We couldn't do as much spring training. We couldn't go in as early, and we couldn't be around each other as much. So it was really crazy. So then going into it, everybody's having to be away from each other.
Yeah, it's so weird.
We can't be around. It's just a very different environment than you're used to. It doesn't seem as cohesive and as flowing as normal. And so that's also difficult to get into because you can't create the connections like you used to. You can't do as much as you wanted to. Those freshmen kind of need to be able to be incorporated and feel, involved with the team as much, and to feel like everything's normal and that you can like your team and you can like your school and you can be involved. And so I came into this sense of a school where I didn't get a much community anymore.
No.
And you couldn't really be around each other, and it was just crazy, and it was just a different environment than, obviously I'll never be able to relive it, so I'll never know what it could have been. But I definitely don't think it was the best experience. I think a lot of people and athletes, especially, females that went in to a college sport their freshman year, having it be COVID year, I think were very mentally affected, didn't know if they made the right choice. I think a lot of us might have dropped, a lot of us might have transferred.
Yeah.
And it was very common at that time because nobody knew what was going on. Mentally, it was very, very difficult for athletes. And I will say that as well. And I think having a structure, though, from school, I'm a huge structure person. Right. I love schedules. I love being on time. It allowed me to have something when there wasn't a lot going on. Yeah. So, you have your school, you have your time, and you show up and you do everything. And I really loved it. The reason, sadly, I only lasted, a semester, a season, I guess, at HBU before I ended up going to the transfer portal and then choosing to not play anymore. But, I haven't talked very openly about this.
Yeah.
The reason that I left was not due to volleyball being difficult and the mentally tasking of, being on a team or working out all the time or whatever. That was not my problem.
Yeah.
My problem was that I was not connected with my team or my coaches how I thought I was going to be. Based upon everything that I had gone through within recruitment, I was super excited to get there. I was super excited to meet the team. However, when I got there,
different.
It was not open arms of lovingness and caring and wanting to be my best friend. It was a lot of judgment, a lot of picking on, a lot of kind of pushing me into a corner, and which was new to me because, I mean, I had just come from being, you know, the captain of my teams on club and in high school. I had so much that I was going for and so many people looking up to me and I don't want to say respecting. I mean, I was only 18, but it was a very different environment to be kind of shoved into and to take because I didn't have anybody that I felt like I could lean on the team or even my coach, which is hard to say because I thought we were going to be very, very close. And I ended up getting really close with my assistant coach who sadly ended up passing away from cancer at the time. But she was amazing. And I always loved being able to come into the gym and kind of clear my head with volleyball because that was what I loved.
Yeah.
I loved the sport. And I had a love-hate relationship with that time period of my life because I was loving it so much, thankfully due to the sport itself, but I had so much sadness and hate at where I was as a person and emotionally because I just didn't feel home. And it sucked because, I mean, thankfully I was in Houston.
Yeah.
And my parents lived 45 minutes away. And nobody really knows this, but I didn't sleep in my dorm. I would go home after class, after practices, all day after training. I would go home to my parents' house. I would sleep there. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and I'd drive to weights. I would, like, it was a mentally tasking time period for me. And the one thing that I believe, and it can happen with men and women, I believe, but there's a lot of comparison. And I believe, like, you know, comparison is the thief of joy. And in women, it's a lot easier to compare yourself to each other because you're looking for that hierarchy, to be wanted more, to be better at something, to do this. And it's just more common in our emotional, like just how we're wired, our hormones, everything. And, you know, you see it in sports. I saw it on this TV show. I saw it on Big Brother. I mean, it is something that will never go away. And thankfully, I will say, like, and this is hard to say because some people are like, oh, girls don't exist. However, I will say that I'm very aware of the fact that women are catty. We are just naturally catty and we compare ourselves and, you know, we want to be the best at whatever. But there's also a point of being able to admit your faults, see that there are differences within people, and that's what makes you unique, as well as know that that's what lets you be who you are, and to dive into those things that make you yourself, and to not compare yourself, but to make yourself realize that you're different for a reason and accept that and value it and allow others to be themselves and push them to be better, you know?
Yeah.
And acknowledge it and love it for them, because I never want to be that girl or that friend or sister or wife or anything that looks at somebody being successful at something and to not appreciate that and be happy for you. I want other people to do well in this world. I want other people to feel loved, to be happy with who they are, what they're accomplishing. I never want them to feel that I am mocking them behind their back or that I'm praying for their downfall, because absolutely not. Because what you're doing is what you're meant to do, and I hope you exceed at it. And I hope that what I do is what I'm meant to do, and that I can also exceed in it, and that we can help each other, because that in all is going to allow everybody to have a better experience in life, especially women. And I'm so for just helping, teaching women, especially, you know, ones that, like, I work in construction, or I used to at least, and there's not many women in construction.
Right.
And so I love supporting women who do different things. I love supporting and seeing women be successful in fields that aren't normal. I love just women being successful in general, whether it be anything. Like, I have a girl named T-Core who was on Big Brother, and she's now a fashion designer, and she's killing it. She's killing it. And it's like, why would I be upset at her being successful at what she's good at and mad that she's making possibly more money? You know, it's like, why am I jealous of that? She's doing incredible. I can't sew.
You are, however, literally 20, maybe 10% of the world.
I know.
It's crazy. more of your message. We need more of your message, right?
I just feel like, and that's what I love, and I feel like one thing I love doing is just being very encouraging. I feel like I was put onto this
Yeah.
world to help people, allow people to be themselves, and just encourage them. Because that's just who I am to my core. I just love being happy and healthy and wanting other people to be that way. And which is another reason the way I played Big Brother is why that's why I went the way it did. Because to me, in this world, it is so easy to get swept up in, like I said, comparison and money and just putting your value in things that aren't what's going to make you be a good person and to be accepted and loved. And it's just like, why am I like, it's so easy. It costs nothing to be kind, and it's so easy to make people feel loved. It just takes a conversation. It takes a listening ear. It takes just a hi. You know,
maybe you're in the wrong line of work. Maybe you're a motivational speaker or something.
Right?
Yes,
I would love it.
I'm not saying we wouldn't be friends. We could be best friends, but we have this big chasm in between us.
Okay.
And this chasm
What is it?
sits in between us right now. Are you this all the way Aggie? Are you like you're just like hullabalooing all the time? I know. I saw it already. See, being an LSU person, I respect that. And living here, I mean, I'm right down the street from A&M.
Oh, yeah.
But when you go there, what was that experience like? What did you? Because you went there probably as what? Maybe a sophomore after COVID.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. So what was that? What was the A&M experience? And you don't have to give me an A&M commercial, like 9-minute A&M commercial.
I'll keep it simple. But what's so funny is I've always been an Aggie. Funny enough, when I went, my grandparents took me to Ag game, I think when I was like 11.
Yep.
And I wanted to go ever since then. I came home, I made a poster board, printed out all the SAT, ACT scores I needed, what essays I needed, all the stuff, blah, 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 blah. Made a poster, put it on my bedroom wall. And then I kind of let that dream die when I really got into volleyball.
Yeah.
You know, was told I wasn't tall enough. It's fine.
You could have played there.
Anyway, I almost walked on.
Yeah.
I tried. I was about to, but I didn't. Anyways, but I got in, and let me say, this was my first experience of, this sounds weird, thinking for myself. Of
Sweet.
like,
Yes.
thinking for myself and in a way that wasn't centered around sports. You know, I mean, I was spending 60 plus hours a week on sports. And then I chose to leave, and then I got in the transfer portal, and then I was like, you know what? I don't want another experience like I just had. And I know I was not going to go pro in volleyball. Very few do. And I already felt like an 8-year-old. I did not want to feel worse.
Be a kid. Be a kid.
Exactly. And so when I went to A&M, it was just a whole new world.
You got a lot of time on yourself. You got a lot of time to your, a lot of free time.
A lot of free time, a lot of newness. I mean, I had never really partied before.
Yeah.
I had never made friends that weren't on my team.
Right.
So I joined a sorority. That was not for me.
Oh my gosh.
I really tried it. I wanted to, like, maybe a community, you know, like sisters.
Didn't happen.
No, not for me.
Okay, I got you.
Nope. Not to knock sororities.
Right. It's not your vibe.
Not my vibe.
Right.
Not my vibe. And I also was working. So like I started working. I got my first job when I was 19, which I think is sometimes new to different people unless you're an athlete. And so that was weird to me. Just navigating all these first.
What was your first job?
I was a bartender.
The best, dude.
The best. I mean, in college, it's fun.
Heck yeah,
because,
it
I mean,
is.
you just get to talk to all these people and, like, you're getting tips. Like, I mean, it's shorter hours, more people, and, you know, I was at a point where I wanted to
and
meet
you're
people.
not really that outgoing, so it was kind of weird.
Yeah. It allowed me, you know, step out of my comfort zone.
Right. That is, how fun was that, though? It was fun.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
Which, the only thing that I would knock about it is, I guess, you know, you made your money on the weekends.
Yeah.
So for a while, I didn't go out on the weekends.
Right.
But I came to love it even more because I would still have fun because all my friends are bartenders too.
Yes.
So we all worked together, and then we would get to see all these drunk people being fools. And we were like, imagine, see, we could be them, but we're not.
How about
and we get to laugh at them.
So that takes you through college. Mm-hmm. Then what?
Right after college, I graduated and went into being a project engineer at a development and construction company in Houston, Texas.
I nearly fell asleep when you said that.
Okay.
That was...
Yeah, honestly, me too. Honestly.
What does that look like? What do you do? You got a hard hat? Please tell me you had a hard hat.
I do. It's still in my car. I have boots, hard hat, goggles, everything. It's gonna sit. You know, I can put on the whole fit. But it was.
What did it teach you?
What did they teach me?
What did it teach you?
Okay, one. Just that I guess I came to learn that it is a lot more than I ever thought it would be. And like, I mean, I was working right before I went on the show. I was working on a $110 million project.
Yeah.
And you see all these budgets, you see everything. Like, you look at a building like this house and you're like, oh, it's such a beautiful house. You're not thinking about the type of nail that's in here to make sure this wall doesn't fall down.
Right.
There are so many buildings where if you mess up the type of screw you use, you could be in a lawsuit because that tower could fall with the wrong gust of wind. And so it kind of gives you this alternate reality. Like, I call construction the doctors and nurses of the world. Like, that sounds weird.
No, I believe it.
But just how like a doctor fixes a bone and puts things together and makes, you know, changes and whatever to your body, construction is what changes our world for more easily accessibility, homes, housing that's not just like, you know, it's apartment complexes, it's football
everything.
stadiums,
Yeah, right.
It's everything. And one thing about construction that I love is that it's not going anywhere.
You're right about that.
You know, it's been here since the beginning of time, whether it be with sticks and mud
right.
and straw, or it be with, I'm sure, all glass one day or something like that.
What's the weirdest part? And this is what I think of. How do you have an agent? How do you get onto Big Brother?
Okay. No, I don't have an agent.
Maybe you should look into that.
Right? Give me on another show.
Yes.
I don't know if I'd ever want to be on another one. That's scary. I mean, I would. It's just, you know, your life being on TV is crazy. It's a whole different thing. But funny enough, which I'm not saying that my social media following now is crazy.
Yeah.
Comparative to where I was at before the show. So I had around 4,000 followers before I got on the show. So you can apply to Big Brother. You can go on their website, application. You can do in-person applications. You can find them because they'll do castings at things. I was just one day scrolling through Instagram, and I checked my Instagram requests because sometimes I get funny ones and I like to see them.
Right.
And I see this one from a woman named Holly, amazing woman. And she's like, hey, I'm a casting producer for X, Y, and Z. We're casting this show right now. Would love to talk to you. Okay, I'm like, click her profile. She's won like a Grammy. So like, I'm like, okay, this isn't like legit. a fake account. She's won a Grammy for being a great casting producer, everything about this. I'm like seeing who she follows, everybody that follows her to make sure it's like legit.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Text her back. Thank you so much. Like, I would love to talk. She's like, okay, amazing. Here's my number. Fill this out. I'm like, cool. Fill this out. It's like a short little answer thing. And I get a call the next day. And that was it. Basically, like,
and
ever since that moment, they were like, hey, we absolutely love and adore you. We think you're beautiful. You have an incredible personality. You work in a field that's awesome. We want to get you in front of the execs. We want to get you through this tryout, like the tryout process or casting process. Here's what we got to do. And I was like, okay.
It's moving fast.
I guess so. Sure. You know, I'm putting a lot of effort into it. I'm like, what actually might come of this, you know? I mean, so many people go through this process, and only 16 people make it.
Yes.
So I was giving it effort, but at the same time, I was like hesitant because I was like, there's no way it's gonna be.
Right.
You know? No, but it was me. And it was crazy. I go through, I think, about 5-6 interviews, get flown out to LA for the last one, come back, have another interview with like a doctor and all these people to make sure, you know, I'm mentally sane, and then I can go on it. And then I get this call, I think about 4 days before I'm supposed to leave, and they're like, you're going. I was like, oh, shoot, It's happening. I said, Mom, pack the bag. It's happening. And so it was crazy to say the least, but I was, in another term, I was recruited. So that's how I got onto Big Brother. But yeah,
so what do your parents, like when your parents say, hey, you made it, and you're like, what are they? Are they just tripping? Are they pumped? Are they nervous? Are they just like, go get it? You got it.
Funny enough, my family always thought if there was anybody to go and do something crazy, wild, famous something of that kind of sorts, of that realm, they always thought it'd be me. Not only my parents, but everybody in my family. They were like, if anybody is going to go do something and be known, it is going to be Makensy because my personality is just out there. And so when I got the call, my dad was the most nervous because my dad, you know, I'm daddy's little girl and he doesn't want me heard, and he knows that if I'm on live television and all these things, there is going to be a lot of voices that have opinions that could affect me if I come outside of it, you know? And what a great father of him, right? You know, to be concerning of my mental health and, you know, my happiness and whatever. But no, they were excited with the opportunity. And the more I told them that I was excited to do it and that I was 22 and, you know, this opportunity only comes in once in a lifetime, and what better time than being 22, you know?
So
I'm not
awesome.
like, it's such a great time to go and have these experiences. And so they were just excited for me to have something that I was excited to do and an experience that, you know, once in a lifetime.
Right.
And so they loved it. They were super supportive.
You're gone for 3 months, and I mean, I was just hearing through the grapevine, like, you don't really, when you're in that show, you are locked up.
Yeah.
You have no idea what's going on.
Oh, nothing.
What did you miss?
What did I, like, miss? Like, what happened?
What
did I miss?
Okay, yeah, that's...
Like, what did I, like...
That's a good question.
Nostalgic?
What did
you
miss as
what
in,
events
like...
where I was like, ooh.
What did you miss nostalgic-wise?
Nostalgic? I missed, I think in that type of environment, you know, not being able to talk to people, I missed, you know, my community, you know.
Yeah.
My work friends or my work guys, you know, they were all men.
We can be friends as guys.
Yeah, yeah. So my work friends, you know, my family, my just normal friends, and just the ability to have freedom.
Yeah, you're
like,
locked in.
You really, when you're in there, you realize how much you take for granted. I mean, there were some moments where I was like, I take for granted the accessibility of just music, the radio. I take for granted the accessibility of warm water. I mean, I take for granted the accessibility to, you know, eating something with as much flavor, you know, as rice, white rice, because I had to eat slop.
Dude, are you in some, like, prison camp? Is this,
right?
Which show is we on here? You have no TV. You have no
TV, no communication.
No Chick-fil-A.
None.
Bro.
No
Starbucks.
No Starbucks. You
Hell
don't
no.
know
I couldn't have been on that show.
how big of a problem not having good coffee was for me, because I am a coffee fanatic.
I got you.
And every day, and I am so sorry to Big Brother production, because y'all know, I constantly bitch about how horrible that coffee was.
Little things.
I was just like, can we get anything but this Kroger coffee grinds? Like, y'all have enough money for Folgers.
Right.
Y'all have enough money for Starbucks grinds. Like, anything.
They were depriving y'all
Almost
of good
like
coffee.
Anything. And they were
bull
like,
crap,
no,
man.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you're there. Okay, so you missed that. What did you miss? Like, what did you miss in, like, what's going on in the world, man? It was tripping.
Oh my gosh.
It was going wild at that time. Maybe I should have been on Big Brother because I'd been, like, not as angry.
See, right? Oh my gosh. I don't know. So I missed everything with the presidential candidacy, everything with the election, kind of. I came out, I have no idea what the campaigns were. I knew nothing. I was like, what is going on? Trump almost died twice. Joe Biden stepped down. I mean, Kamala, is it Kamala or Kamala? I don't know. She stepped up, and I'm sitting there getting told this live on the last day, and I'm just like,
dude, wow.
I'm like, what else have I missed? What else has gone on? All of the hurricanes, which affected some of my family as well as some Big Brother castmates. I mean, I'm learning about all of this crazy stuff, and I had no idea about it. And it's like, in those types of situations, I would be one where it's like, I'm trying to help people or talk about it.
Yeah.
And coming out of it, I'm like, I'm late. And I almost feel bad talking about it now because I'm like, well, I mean, I missed the time. I mean, not the time, Makensy. It's a bad sore subject now. I'm like, oh, okay, my fault. You know?
You missed Center Point Energy melting down.
What?
Angry. Center Point Energy, like, they forgot that there was a hurricane, and they just left all these people. Anyways.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. Half the stuff I still don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's the funny stuff of, like, I don't even know, like, certain, like, Jen, like, on The Bachelor, she was the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
She was on Dancing with the Stars when I got out, but I missed her whole actual season, so I have no idea what happened during that, which is, like, as a girl,
It's very important.
Tough. Yeah, Love Island. There's so many things that I miss that I'm still trying to catch up on.
Dude, let's do it. Please.
Love Island?
Please try out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, funny.
Please try out Love Island UK. Not America. Yeah.
I mean, right? USA. I love Love Island UK. Funny enough, before a month before Big Brother reached out, Love Island reached out. Love Island USA.
Yes.
And I was almost on. Like, I was starting the interview process. However, I like to dress like a mother. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And so a very big part of Love Island is...
we know. We've seen the show.
Yeah. It's very provocative comparative to what I am
right.
and who I am. And I was like, do I want my father to watch me in a, like, devil lingerie suit dance on 8 men? Probably not. Not the best idea.
I get it. But let's just talk him off the ledge with it, and let's just do this. Let's do it. Australia. I don't even think...
Or UK. UK is the biggest one.
It's a massive one, but if we go to Australia, maybe your dad didn't see the show.
My cousins just moved to Australia.
Well, maybe they're going to be on it. Who knows? There we go.
Well, they're pregnant with their second child about to give birth.
That would be a different twist of Love Island then, with a pregnant person on it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll have to give her a call. I'll be like, hey, I hope... Is your husband okay with this? I think you should really try this out.
Think about it. Matt says, well, tell me about, you start winning. You are dominating Big Brother. And you're like, now that I've met you, I kind of get it because like you won like historically the amount of challenges. Yes. Like you maybe broke the record or whatever you did.
So I broke the record for most comps won by a female ever in Big Brother history. And then I tied, in technicality, for most comps won ever with Jag on season 25. However, I will say, I love you, Jag. No hate to Jag. I would have won if they counted my power-up competition. However, they did not because not everybody competed in it. Because they didn't press yes.
Technicality. That's some BS,
so,
dude.
if we would count that one, I would have won the whole thing.
Dude, that's wild. But why? Why were you winning all these? Is it because... Is it with kind of... I mean, some of this stuff was kind of athletic-y.
Some of it was, which is kind of funny because the athletic ones, I really lost.
Yeah.
I mean, I ate shit on one of the running ones. And I was winning that. Funny enough, I was winning... So it was called Ainsley Land, which was the second HOH competition of the whole season, and you had to run on like balance beam, hip buttons. I was winning, and then I tripped over my own foot. It wasn't because I misstepped or lost balance. It was literally just because I'm clumsy, and I tripped. This front of my shoe kind of like buckled under, I think. And I just tripped, and I ended up having a bruise on my arm, which I still have. And you thought about
this. You probably thought about this for months.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, man, I had that.
I mean, it all worked out in the end. Like, I didn't need to win those competitions that I lost, thankfully. However, when I lose, I don't like losing. Yeah. So, especially when I lose embarrassingly,
Well, it humanizes us. It humanizes us.
Yeah.
Makes us human.
I haven't even watched that show, but I really hope that I fell a lot in the Big Brother house. So, but that one was funny. And then the wall comp, I lost.
So let's talk about the end. So it was set up.
Yes.
Like not set up, but you had it.
Yeah, I had it.
You had it.
I had it.
And then you didn't have it. But what?
Right. Dang it.
I do appreciate the fact that you went that route. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes when you lose, you kind of win. Does that make sense?
I agree. I think that there is. How I always said it with a lot of my post-show interviews in media the next morning, that same night, I lost. I was runner-up. I got second place. However, in my book, with how I played, how I stayed true to myself, and the way that I was able to show people that being of your true character and staying true to that and allowing your morals and values to run your life instead of money is so much bigger and allows me to feel like I won more than I ever could monetarily. Because to me, like I said in the beginning, like there's so many things that I can compare myself to, and there's so many things that I can try and accomplish to get to a number or to be a certain place, you know. However, if I were to lose myself to get that, then I shouldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it, because I want to be proud of how I got that, and I want to be proud of who I am when I have that. And the decision I made was best for me, and also a lot of Big Brother fans don't appreciate what I did, because they're like, you're not there to be a person, you're there to play a game. And I'm like, you know what's so funny is I'm not a pawn. I'm not a robot. I'm not a player in some game. I am a person. I'm a real person with real emotions, real feelings, and I have to live a real life after this game.
Yeah.
And for me to make the decision I did allows me to walk out with my head held high if I won or if I didn't. And allows me to know that I stayed true to my authentic self, and that I don't have to look back and be worried or self-conscious or feel like I have to be regretful or remorseful of what I did to somebody because of a money thing. Here's the thing, $750,000 taxed, that's going to last me maybe 3 years, okay?
Yeah.
I would have made that in 3 years at my job.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I can make money back. I can't earn my own love back and respect back for being a poor person and losing my values. And that's something that a lot of people, I think, at my age, and sometimes in this world at any age, lose. And I just hope a lot of people can see the good in what I did. It's like you just said, and I appreciate that you admire that. But a lot of people can't. And that's where it's difficult for me, because I take it with a grain of salt whenever people look at me and they're like, you're dumb, you made the wrong decision, and you should have done X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, and I appreciate that you have that outlook. And I will never judge somebody for wanting to do something different or thinking a different way than I do, because they don't have my brain, and maybe they have a different life, and maybe they value other things more than I do. However, I just wish that people could respect that I put values on other things other than money. And that's where it's difficult for me, because, and this has been very, very difficult for me following the show, because so many people want me to be mad that I got second place, and so many people want me to be upset that I lost all this money, and so many people want me and Chelsea to be against each other. And for me, it's not like that, because I'm happy with how I did. I walked away with a lot of money, with my head held high, and showing a bigger picture than anybody else I think in Big Brother history might have done, you know? And I continued that from day 1 to day 90, which is very difficult in an environment like that. And I also take a lot of hate with a lot of grace. I mean, it's been difficult, and a lot of people who are by me can also attest for this, but the interactions I get with people outside of the house in person, I'm very thankful for, that they appreciate me and enjoyed watching me and that they love the show, you know. However, a lot of it is not, you did amazing. It's actually, you messed up at the end. Like,
yeah,
do you regret
weird.
it? Or you should have taken Cam. And I understand that people love to give their input, and people love to have their own opinions, and you know, when they see the $750,000, you know, that's what they're thinking, and you know, they wanted me to win it because they loved me as a person. And I'm like, if you loved me as a person, then you should have loved my decision. And I just wish that my interactions more often than not were just appreciating me as a player instead of judging my last final decision, because it just gets a lot to take at the end.
Yeah.
Because I know what I did. Like, not that I have to live with it. Like, I'm not upset at it, but I do. Like, I know the decision I made. I know how it turned out. I know the consequences, and I'm eating it every day. I'm happy to, because again, I'm very, very proud of myself for staying true to myself and representing a very large picture. But it just becomes tiresome of just having to feel like I have to explain myself for being a good person and for staying true to my word and for not placing money over feelings. And so it's just a whole different concept. And that's where I feel this bigger purpose in life to, you know, I love motivating people and just allowing people to see a different side of things and allowing people to sense of community and remember that everybody's capable of something, and that if you help others, you will receive help in other ways as well. You know, money's gonna come. It's gonna come. I'm 22.
Are you? I'm not. Just hearing what you're saying, I want to need to see a birth certificate because
Right?
you talk like you were 52.
52?
But just with just the kind of wisdom,
Oh,
you know.
thank you. I mean, I'm very faithful. I mean, I love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He's amazing. And I believe that with good comes good. So I feel like what you put out and what you give to others, you will receive in turn eventually. And I do believe, you know, money and whatever's to come, I will be fine. I know that I'll be successful in some way. I have a degree. I can go and get a job, whatever I want. But not only do I want that, I want to make an impact and allow people to, you know, see that they can do good and be who they want to be and have good morals and have good values while pursuing and having success. So it's just, you don't have to be.
That's period right there.
Yeah.
Period, paragraph,
Drop,
intention, bam.
You know, you don't have to be an asshole to make money.
Well said. Okay. But what do you do sporting? Your workout, your Pilates and running.
Pilates and running. I really want to. My problem is not that I lost like a love for weightlifting, but I gained 30 pounds my freshman year.
Are you?
They made me eat and weightlift like crazy to where I was almost not able to perform to the extent that I should have been. And so.
You mean in college?
Mm-hmm. No, just like they bulked me at freshman year. They bulked me.
Oh, yeah.
I gained 30 pounds. And so to lose that, I just had to kind of do more,
that'll go fast.
Less weight, like weightlifting. So
yeah.
And now it's like for my own body and just for the.
Are you banged up though at all?
Banged up?
Meaning like.
Yeah, my body doesn't like it.
When you work with these.
My back is awful.
Yeah.
My back is awful. I mean, I fractured my L5.
Bruh, TikTok's got some good. You ever watch TikTok like the guys that crack people's back?
I can crack my back pretty.
Oh my Lord.
Hold on. This is something that actually astonishes. I can crack my neck and my back really. It goes crazy, and everybody in the house thought it was disgusting, but kind of funny. So let's see if I can do it. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, there's that one, and then. Okay. Let's see if I can do my neck. Hold on. Ready? Hold on.
Oh. What the heck is wrong with you?
So I can pop, yeah.
You have the mindset of immaturity of a 52-year-old. You might have the creakiness of what the heck just happened?
Of an 80-year-old.
What was that?
I'm telling you. Yeah, it freaks people out. They're like, because every morning I wake up and I do that, and I'm like, ugh. I'm like, sorry, and it happens multiple times a day. It'll come back.
Yeah, it is sportsy. Sports bangs you up. Okay, so here we go. All right,
back into it.
All right.
I'm waiting for the long-awaited question.
No, these are super easy, quick.
Okay.
So there was you could feel it through the TV. Let's just say you could feel the love through the TV, the tension,
the chemistry.
Tell me,
Kindle.
do we have a minor and or major romance on TV, on the show?
You're talking about Cam, right? No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was such a huge joke to come outside too. The fact people were putting with Cam.
Tell what you can.
I will say that Matt and I talk a lot. We are.
Who was on the show?
Yes, Matt was on the show. Matt was there first week. He was also the first boot. Probably the biggest first boot of Big Brother history. His story was hilarious. Sad, but hilarious. And we probably had the shortest lived showmance in Big Brother history. But we are, I will say, going strong after post-show. He is an amazing, incredible man. I was very excited to reconnect with him after the show ended. And we are figuring it out. You know, I mean, it's hard. He lives in Atlanta. I live in Houston. But to say that I'm not pursuing him would be a lie. I'll say that.
There we have it. That's all you have to say. Good for y'all. That is pretty cool, though, honestly. I mean, when you first see him, was it like, okay?
Oh, this, it sounds so mean, because at the time, and this was like the whole thing, that at the time I had a man who was trying to pursue me while I went on the show, and it was a whole thing, but the moment I saw him,
Mm-hmm.
I in my head went, shit, I'm gonna fall for this dude. I was like, I'm gonna go head over heels for this dude, and it's gonna be so bad, in the best way.
Yeah.
But so bad. And that is exactly what happened.
Good for you.
So I think in the weirdest way, I think the situation of what we had of him going home first and me lasting all the way till the end almost allowed us to have separate lives.
Yeah.
Out of we had our Big Brother experiences, but it wasn't enough to make us into a codependent thing.
Yeah, I get it.
Throughout the show. So he still was able to live his life and have his story, and I have mine, and they're very different stories, which is good because we can correlate and resonate on some things, but we still are able to separate the experience with each other. And we didn't have this connection that grew in almost a false reality. So it allowed us to, after the show was done, pursue each other in a realistic environment that allowed us to be truthful with our feelings and allowed us to be open and expressive and have those hard conversations and take it in a more mature way than you probably would in an environment where you are completely shut off from the world. You only depend on those people in it, and your emotions are completely heightened. So this sounds weird, but falling in love in there is a lot easier than it is sometimes in the outside world because you get to know people.
Yeah.
And then you become so dependent on it. And it's just so Big Brother has the most successful relationships out of any reality TV show,
Yeah.
which is amazing. And I'm not saying and we have a lot of tests, and so our producers know who's going to get along and who's not. So they know that we're going to get along, but I'm very thankful for the way that how I look at things and how I want my relationships to go, that we were able to meet each other in that and know and get to learn about each other for a short 10 days.
Yeah.
In a quick way that allowed us to know more than we would in 10 days with somebody outside the house. But then that we got to separate and truly define our relationship and know each other in a more private and real time, I guess. That's how
That was a
take
long
it.
answer.
I don't know.
All you just want to say is dude, he's super hot. This thing's happening.
He's so
Bam.
hot and it's happened,
Bam.
right?
This is
No,
all
he's-
happening. We all
he is very
love it.
hot.
Yes,
He's
good
very
for you.
attractive.
That's awesome. Good for you. But isn't that weird that that happened like that? Maybe
It's
not.
strange.
Maybe not.
No, it's so weird because, there's so much I could get into. So I fully believe that I was casted for this show not to go as far as I did. And I don't think that they doubted that I could have the aspects to win and do what I did. But I'm telling you, I was casted for this man.
Oh.
And he was casted for me. We 100% believe, if you could go through all the backstories of it, from day one, they were like, yo,
that's heavy.
there's this guy, and he's going to be your husband. And I
Maybe
was
that
like,
was
what? And they're like, describe your type, describe what you want. And they're like, Makensy, it's going to happen. You're going to fall in love. And I'm like, what?
Maybe you were on a 10-day.
Ugh.
That was a 10-day Hinge date. It was 10 days of Hinge, and you didn't even know it. And you were at a reality TV show.
I didn't even know it.
What a
Right?
wild...
And even in that moment, I was so, because of the show and the way that it happens and the way you're supposed to, not have showmances and connections and all that, I'm self-sabotaging myself. I'm absolutely not. I'm
Shocking.
He's great. Sure. He's so awesome. He's so cute. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, he really is that way. But the mindset that you have to have in there is so different in the beginning. And it's just so weird. It's so weird to know that that's how I met him. That I met him on a TV show.
When y'all have, Big Brother babies 10 years down the road, can you imagine that? We'll get back. 10 years from now, we're going to get back and we're going to do the
10 years
same
from now,
thing.
yes.
You could be just
If we are
carrying
married and
babies
we
and
have Big
stuff,
Brother
and the whole nine.
babies.
What other reality TV show would you have wanted to be on?
Oh my gosh. I think
Outside of Love Island. That's a no.
I was about to say, which I have been watching a lot of because of Joey and Kelsey from The Bachelor, which I really like. The Bachelorette would be cool. So many people, because they don't fully know my relationship status, I think, they want me to be the next Bachelorette. I'm like, I don't think it can work like that. So that would have been cool, you know, just to see men fight over me.
Crossover. That's crossover channels.
But I think a cool one would have been Dancing with the Stars. I cannot dance for shit.
Well, then that would be a short episode for you.
But it would be so cool to learn. Because I think, here's the thing. I will put my heart and soul into anything to be the best. So, to have a competitive nature placed into dancing, because I've always wanted to know how to dance. I don't have it.
I'm a no on that. Cool. I would want to be on Survivor.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I'm telling you, I would be voted off. I would not make the merge because I gotta sleep. Brother's gotta sleep.
You'd want to be on Survivor, but you don't think you would win? Why would you want to be on it?
I mean, I just want to go and just see, man, is this
I'm
really
telling you
hard?
right now, I lived outside for a week. It's called Janky World. And that was probably not even halfway as bad as a Survivor. And that was a no.
I'm just not tough enough. I'm not tough enough for that life.
That was a no. Nope. I had pizza, ice cream, and chocolate bars to survive off for a week, and to try and survive off of, crickets or something. Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, I'm okay.
What's your binge? What do you watch?
I'm a big Gossip Girl, Suits, One Tree Hill.
Says everybody in the ages of 18 to 28.
That makes sense. Sometimes
it makes sense.
Sometimes I do fit my age.
Totally. I mean, I got kids. They'll fall asleep to all of those shows you just said.
Yep.
That's.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm a habit. I'm a habit of creature.
Yeah.
I'm a creature of habit. Because I watched them when I was 16, and I've loved them ever since. Oh, Vampire Diaries too. Yeah.
What would be, what brand would you want to work with? If you're like, hey, if I had a brand, bam,
I get this all the time, and it would be...
I think it's going to be some sort of hair product.
It's not.
Okay.
I love hair products. I love them. I love my hair. But it would be the biggest accomplishment to work with a jean brand, because I said this earlier, I can't find jeans for shit.
Really?
For shit, yeah. And tall girls will understand me on this. My legs, which I'm only 6 foot, which is still pretty tall for a woman, but I have the same size legs as my 6'4" brother. I have a 35-inch inseam. You don't find that in women's jeans all the time. So it would be really, really cool. Khloe Kardashian has the jean brand Good American.
Okay.
And I would love to do a brand thing with her.
What would you have done with the money if you won? I mean, what would have been your splurge? What would you mean
What would be my splurge?
Yes.
I would pay off my car.
Okay.
So, pay off my car, invest, and take my family on a vacation, because we have not been on a all family vacation in a very long time, because my parents work their ass off.
Who are you closest? Who do you still keep in touch with? I mean, outside of
from the show?
Yes.
Okay. I keep in touch. So the mains would probably be I talk to Cam, talk to Leah, I talk to Chelsea, Cedric sometimes. Who else is on the show? I'm literally blanking. Brooklyn sometimes. It's also been not difficult for me. I'm just now getting back into the habit of really reaching out to people.
Yeah.
And it's been a little bit over a month outside of the house now, and I feel like I'm just now getting back to normalcy, a little bit of it. And so I'm finally clearing all the messages on my phone, able to multitask again, doing it all. So I'm finally just now starting to reach back out to people and really create those friendships outside the house again.
Speaking of that, weirdest DM? Weirdest DM from a person? Who you're thinking, oh my gosh, XYZ. I mean, you're not putting anybody on blast, but I'm saying who was oh my gosh, I'm so glad you watched the show.
Oh, so watched the show, DM. Okay.
Meaning a celebrity that would hit you up and say, hey, saw you on the show.
That was awesome. There was, oh my gosh, what's his name? He's a really I think it's, hold on.
Check your phone.
Let me make sure that this is his name. It was crazy that he followed me. He didn't reach out. There's one person that did reach out. Okay, but he followed me, and I was like, oh my gosh. Big YouTube creator, Shane Dawson.
There you go.
So he followed me, which I think is crazy. And then there is this TikToker who, his name is Asher, and he is well known, and he went viral for kind of like these funny skits. He's super, super funny.
Yeah.
And he followed me and reached out and was like, "You're a queen." And I was just like, "You're amazing."
Thank you so much.
And then, yeah, there was another guy who ended up, I guess, like, funny enough, before I went on the show, I DM'd because I was like, why not, you know?
Yeah.
And when I got off the show, there was a DM back, I guess, once I got the following, and he was crazy.
This makes it almost too available. The social media piece, like
right?
It's a little creepy, but maybe not. I don't know.
But the messages, it wasn't like creepy.
Yeah.
He just was like
crazy.
Yeah. Like the way he spoke, I was like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
So anyways, that was a wild experience for me. I was like, no. I'm sure that there's others. I don't know. I hired social media manager to kind of go through my stuff. Yeah. So I didn't see half the DMs I got.
That makes sense.
When I got back.
Finally, is reality TV
real?
How did you already know that? Yes.
Is it real? I will say reality TV, I think, is as real as it can get to be good TV.
Yes. That's a very good answer.
You know, I mean, they're going to switch a few things up. They're going to cut some stuff. They're not going to put everything in. Because where's the fun in that? You know? Because they still need ratings. It's still TV. But I also do believe that it is as real to the extent as you can get.
Well said. Okay, we've had a moment in time. Yes, we have. Okay, we gonna go way back when she was from Friendswood. We talked about Friendswood High School. We talked about volleyball. We talked about Big Brother. We talked about love interest. We talked about just being a generally awesome person.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so there we have it.
Yeah.
This is Matt with VYPE. We'll see you at the games. This has been Makensy Manbeck, the favorite guest of all time.
Aw, thank you.
Say less.
Woo!
All right, we'll see y'all at the games.